Alrighty then. Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960, your favorite podcatcher, as well as on YouTube and on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. You can follow me at links at Lex Tan Media. You can follow the show at ringside_heat. And just about to go live on Instagram right now as it's finally up. And yes, there it is. So hello everybody watching on Instagram. Also, this is also being broadcast as well on my on the Ringside Heat YouTube page. We've also got it on my personal YouTube page, my Twitch, as well as oh, you know what? I should also put myself up on Facebook, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's do that. Let's get up on Facebook as well. So we've got Ringside Heat on Instagram. We've got it on YouTube. We've got Twitch. Yeah, it's hard for me to talk right now, actually. And the reason why is you can see in the title of the video and as well on the left of the side of your screen. And it's been confirmed by multiple news outlets that Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, has passed away at the age of 71. He was born August 11th, 1953 in Augusta, Georgia, and he passed away earlier this morning and at the age of 71 in Clearwater, Florida. Uh, he was active in the wrestling industry in one shape or another, whether it's wrestling or just as a personality from 1976 all the way up to 2025. And is considered to be one of the most influential wrestlers in the professional wrestling boom of the 1980s the uh, the effects of his stardom. You can feel the ripples of that all the way up to today, and he was still known as a big icon and as the icon. When people think of professional wrestling, and this spans multiple generations, you think Terry Bollea, you think Hulk Hogan rather. You don't think Terry Bollea because he doesn't really go by his birth name. He didn't really go by his birth name after he got big as Hulk Hogan. But I know that that even within the Ringside Heat ring crew, um, it's complicated about with Hulk Hogan, as it is with a lot of people who have been under controversy within the wrestling business and other things. Like, there's a lot of people who do have mixed feelings about Vince McMahon. He's obviously still alive right now, but um, and I'm one of those people. And with I don't want to I'm not going to go get into his politics in terms of, like, politics in terms of government and who's running the United States of America and who was running the United States of America before that. I don't want to get into that. um I just personally want to just I know that despite what some people what people may think of him dealing with his issues. And I know there was the racism issue from back in the mid 2000s as well that really affected his legacy and really affected his reputation and his standing within just entertainment fandom as well as the professional wrestling fandom. But I guess for now, I mean, like, the guy has just recently passed away, so I don't want to get into those kind of topics in respect for the dead. And it's a little bit of a it's a little bit surreal to me that I am saying right now that Hulk Hogan is dead. um when I heard the news, and Jose, part of the ring crew, he was the one who broke the news to me and the rest of the crew. From from Fightful.com, and then I started reading it on. If I'm looking right now on Google, in terms of the yeah, I first saw it on Sean Ross Sapp from Fightful.com. It's People, NBC, The Guardian, Global News, TMZ, which are the ones who break the news. And TMZ, as Jose mentioned, they're the ones who actually, like, get the scoop and actually are correct about what celebrities have passed away. So it is surreal. I immediately texted a good friend of the show, Jimmy Corderas, uh, former WWF referee, and yeah, I told him that, like, I don't know what your relationship to Hogan was, but I know you worked with him many, many times over the years, and been in the locker rooms with him, and you toured with him around the world with this guy. So I extend my condolences to you, Jimmy. And Jimmy said, Jimmy was gracious. He said, "Thank you, buddy. Hulk was always good to me." And that's the thing. It's like, you have people. People are complicated. People are complicated. You're never you could be a good man one day, you could be a bad man the other day. And I don't mean like, I'm a bad man. No, it's like, you could be good one day, you could be bad another day. It's the reality of being human. And maybe and that's the thing. Maybe we rightly or wrongly expect the people who are in the public eye to have some sort of elevated sense um, of morality, decency, what have you, whatever like that. And sometimes we make the mistake of, us making these people around us whatever we want them to be when they may not even be that person in real life. It's complicated for me because um, it really is. It's uh, yeah, RV says Hulkster just reformed the mega powers in heaven. Miss Elizabeth is still their manager. Andre is coming to them to the heavenly ring now to challenge them. And RV says he also regrets that he never got to go to a store in Florida. Word is you could meet the Hulkster easily if you go there. His Alec Knoll says, trying to be funny with this comment, but Hulk Hogan was the immortal one, but does this make Flair the immortal Ric Flair? It could be. It could be, Alec. I mean, um, Hulk Hogan does live. His legacy will live forever, honestly, in this business. And I think Ric Flair, and obviously Ric Flair as well. A lot of people will say that Ric Flair is the greatest wrestler of that era, maybe the greatest wrestler of all time, 16-time world champion, and all that. Now John Cena being the 17-time world champion as well. So I mean, there are a lot. I mean, there is a lot of rich wrestling history that, in the same way that baseball has such a long and storied history dating back from the 1800s, you can't really say, quote unquote, who is the greatest of all time in baseball. In the same time, I don't think you can actually have that. You can have a Mount Rushmore in wrestling for sure, but I don't think it can be even. It can even be uh, how do you say, restricted to four people, because Mount Rushmore is four people. If you needed to name four, these are the people you would pick. But um, Hulk Hogan really, I think, was the first one who had that kind of cultural zeitgeist, um, I guess, influence and worldwide appeal, which made professional wrestling, the WWF's professional wrestling, under the guidance of Vince McMahon, obviously, to be to elevate it to the heights that professional wrestling never was. And with Hulk Hogan and after Hulk Hogan, honestly, it's because of the influence of what Hulk Hogan did back in his original WWF run and later on in his WCW run that helped that the wrestling industry grow even more in the 90s during the Monday Night Wars. But it also helped to solidify WrestleMania as the as WrestleMania as the biggest show of the year for professional wrestling, the epitome of professional wrestling supercards, as they would like to, as it would be called in the industry. But it also but it also had the effect of making the WWF, the what people uh, equated to what is professional wrestling, even when he was in his WCW days. Um, and when he came back to the WWF, the WWE, and his first feud back was against The Rock, after reforming the NWO, and knowing that his first match, his first major WrestleMania match back in the WWF as a member of the NWO, as the Hollywood Hulk Hogan gimmick, which is just evil Hulk Hogan, in, in its sort of sense, is that it was The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 18 in Toronto Skydome, now known as the Rogers Center, or without the, now known as Rogers Center. There you go. Got to get got to get those things correct. But uh, and the way that and the way that the crowd turned Hulk Hogan from the heel into the face of that match, and Hulk Hogan and Rock also pivoting on the spot that Hogan would play more to the cheering fans, while The Rock had to take the heel role in this in it, and delve into those boos. And the cerebral part of that match, whether was it was it a great technical wrestling match a la Grande Americano or Chad Gable? No, but it was wrestling. That's the one thing about wrestling. Wrestling is so has such a wide range of what that could be, but it's still telling the story of the ring within a wrestling context. And the way that The Rock and Hulk Hogan told that story at WrestleMania 18, and delved into what the crowd was doing, and pivoting on the spot and doing all of those things, made that match one of the greatest matches up to that point, and probably still, I would still consider it to be one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history, uh, because of because of the mental game behind that match that both Rock and Hulk Hogan were able to play. And here's the thing: I missed all of Hulk Hogan's 1980s run. I missed the NWO run. I only caught up to it thanks to YouTube. I only caught up to it thanks to the WWE Network and the DVDs of the Monday Night War, of course, told from the WWF's perspective, and as well with, but it's peppered in with Eric Bischoff telling his side of the story as well. So, I would consider that to be a little bit more fair and balanced than maybe some than other things that WWF could have come up with, especially much more fair and balanced than the Ultimate Warrior thing, that the rise and the fall of the Ultimate Warrior. That's one thing. That's another thing altogether. But I mean, it is a surreal day. It is a surreal day. I mean, like from again, catching up with reading about Hulk Hogan on Wikipedia back in the mid 2000s, when or whenever Wikipedia started and made things really started to get really detailed. And I remember I remember not knowing much about Hulk, except of his cultural iconicness. Knowing that he was a wrestler, and I honestly did have his LJN action figure, complete with the replica of the WWF World Championship that he won from Sheiky Baby Iron Sheik, and all that. So yes, I understood from an intellectual standpoint. That's exactly what that's what Hulk Hogan meant to wrestling, and that's what Hulk Hogan meant to the entertainment industry. I remember seeing the trailers of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 VHS of Suburban Commando, and and then he was playing off of these dudes, and he was just like the rough dudes were just like, oh, so you know what we're gonna do? And Hogan responds, "You're gonna pound my face in," and it's like, nah, man, this is the '90s. We're gonna sue you. I mean, I don't know much else about that movie, but the only other thing I know about that movie is that Undertaker was somehow in it, as looking as Mark Calloway as he could be at the time. But just within the WWF, he was the championship, including the undisputed champion 6 times in his career, winning his last undisputed championship, or the undisputed championship, from Triple H a month after WrestleMania 18, when Triple H won the title from Chris Jericho and then dropped it to Hulk Hogan at WWF Backlash, which was the final WWF themed, the final WWF event. Under the branding of WWF, and as a result, Hulk Hogan was also the final World Wrestling Federation champion. Because in May of that year, shortly after, maybe a month afterwards, it became the WWE. And he also rode into Toronto with the WWE Undisputed Championship, literally riding in there with his Hulk Hogan themed bike in order to kind of like mirroring the Undertaker. And I remember regretting to holy hell not buying tickets when I could have to the June to the June 24, I think June 23 to June 24, 2002 WWE Raw, or whichever the Raw it was before WWE Judgment Day, when Undertaker beat Hogan for the championship. But then it was WWE Undisputed Champion Hogan in a no disqualification match against then WWE Raw owner Ric Flair for the Undisputed Championship, and it was the last time those two would lock horns. That was 23 years ago, locking horns in a WWE ring as wrestlers on the main roster. That was crazy, because I look back on that match just now, just before I got on the air over here, and Hogan and Ric Flair, man, they still look good for like dudes in their 50s and everything, and just like, wow, that's like, yes, freaks of nature they may be, but at the same time, like, they could still go. They physically could still go, and they could still actually entertain the way that they always could. And it was a very entertaining 12-minute match between the two, doing their thing in their own context. Plus, of course, the interference from from X-Pac and Big Show, who were with the NWO at the time, and then of course the interference, the evening of the score with Bradshaw no longer with Farouk in the APA, or Ron Simmons in the APA, but him sliding in the ring. That's like, Bradshaw could slide in the ring. That was surprising too. And then just as Ric Flair was about to beat Hulk Hogan with a with a figure 4 leg lock, out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin running down the ring, big smile on his face, flipping the bird to Ric Flair, kick to the gut, Stone Cold Stunner, and then leaving the ring with a smile on his face and laughing, while Hulk Hogan gets back up, drops the leg on Ric Flair. Little Nate Charles Robinson counting the 1, 2, 3. Your winner, and at the time still undisputed champion, Hulk Hogan. It was look at that. WWE Network, no longer $9.99. Alec Noel blasphemy. Ludwig is Ludwig. Don't forget the movie No Holds Barred, best movie ever. I remember Mr. Nanny was Alec Noel's favorite Hulk Hogan movie. And WWF to WW, damn those pandas. And RV Plays Music says, well, it's the big slow. We're going to be doing a full-on recollection next week for Ringside Heat's 193rd episode of Hulk Hogan's passing, and recollection of his career. Again, no politics involved or anything like that, but we are going to do that. We are going to have that for you next Wednesday at 2 p.m. and Sunday afterwards, the replay 3 p.m. on Saga 960. Obviously, we'll also have the podcast version up immediately after it airs, and the YouTube version as quickly as possible as well. But I've got to go to work right now. I actually have to be on the air doing traffic over in Hamilton, St. Catharines, right here from my computer. So I'm going to have to go as as Jimmy Corderas would say, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, rest in peace. May your memory be eternal, and may your memory be a blessing. And as a Catholic, I'll also recite the prayer: eternal rest grant unto Terry Bollea, Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon him. May he rest in peace, and may his soul and the souls of all of the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Ringside Heat, we remember the things that you probably forgot.